Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about the next process in human reproduction, which is mitosis. So today we will identify the process that divides the zygote and identify the key differences between mitosis and meiosis. Okay, so if we look at this picture, okay, this is what we've talked about so far. So if we look at A here, and we were to label that, hopefully you would get that that is the sperm. Okay. And then B would then be the egg. Okay. If you also see this letter N in here, N is the number of chromosomes that are in each of those. So for humans, that would be 23. But the reason that it's N and not just 23 is because that number changes for different organisms. So for flies, I believe it's 4 because their body cells have 8 chromosomes. So depending on the organism and the species, that number will change. So N is half the number of chromosomes that are found in the body cells. For humans, that's 23. C, the process when they come together, we said last time was fertilization. Okay. And then when they come together, that produces a zygote. So D would be the zygote. And then today we're going to talk about what happens after it becomes a zygote and starts to divide. Right? So again, the process that makes the egg and sperm, you have to start with meiosis. So meiosis would be here, fertilization, and then today we're going to talk about what E would be. All right, just to review the structures, this is the female reproductive system. Here you have your ovary and the egg being released into the fallopian tube. Sperm swim up through the vagina and then fertilize the egg inside the fallopian tube, and then the zygote moves down into the uterus to become implanted. So again, D right here is the uterus, and that's for the growth and development of the fetus. So this is a zygote. It's an egg that has been fertilized already, so it has the complete set of DNA. Remember, you get half the amount of chromosomes from each parent, so 23 plus 23. Now you have your full set of 46 chromosomes inside the zygote. But if you notice, it's only one cell, and we are multicellular, so we are made of billions and trillions of cells. So what happens is the cell starts to divide. Okay, so one cell becomes 2, and then 2 becomes 4, and 4 becomes 8, and so on and so on. Okay, so how is this happening? Well, this happens because of a process called mitosis. Now, mitosis is also known as asexual reproduction, but humans have to do mitosis as well. So you don't want all of your different body cells to have different DNA. They have all the same exact DNA, and you want them to be genetically identical. Okay? So our next process on our note sheet will be mitosis. The two main things that humans use mitosis for, one being growth. So obviously you are not the same size now as you were when you were born. So if we're talking about human growth, it's through mitosis. And then repair of tissue. So you've probably got a cut at some point in your life, and you don't have that cut anymore. That's because of mitosis. So mitosis is for growth and repair of tissue. So again, if you're repairing tissue, that's also mitosis. So if we were to come back to this picture, meiosis happening here produces the sperm and the egg. They come together in fertilization, makes the zygote, and then the next process is mitosis. The last process, G, we'll look at next week. And then F and H are different stages of a zygote developing. So after it starts dividing, after the zygote starts dividing, then it will eventually turn into an embryo, and then eventually a fetus, depending on the week that it is in development. Right? So a lot of students tend to ask, like, where do the organs go? So obviously the female body has to make room for the developing fetus. So the organs kind of get misplaced. So here's like a time lapse of what happens inside the female during pregnancy. So you kind of see everything start to get pushed up. and the nutrients and the oxygen diffusing through the placenta to the baby. And still everything gets pushed up. And then the woman gives birth and the baby exits the female through the birth canal. Okay? So that's obviously the whole process. What could happen if mitosis goes uncontrolled? So cells have to go through certain checkpoints to make sure that they're not, or that they are growing properly. But if there's a case where the cells start to divide uncontrollably, that's when cancer develops. So check out this video. Okay, so in here they compare normal and cancerous cell division. So this is normal. No, I don't think they actually make this sound. They just use it for effect. So if you notice, they're all evenly distributed, evenly spread out. Now if you look at cancerous cell division, the process happens much quicker, and nothing is regulating the division, so the cells start to grow on top of each other, producing a tumor. And what could happen if part of that tumor breaks off and goes into the bloodstream to another part? That's when the cancer can spread to other parts of the body. Okay, so cancer, we usually see it known as uncontrolled mitosis. Right? So if we come back to our note sheet, right, that we are almost done with. Okay, so we started with meiosis, then fertilization, now we're up to mitosis. So mitosis produces body cells. They are genetically identical to the parent cell. Identical, okay. They will have 46 chromosomes for humans, but again, that number will change depending on the organism. In humans, it's used mainly for growth and repair of tissues. Okay, so body cells, genetically identical to the parent cell. The resulting cells have 46 chromosomes, which would be the same as the parent. And there's only one cell division and 2 daughter cells. So if we look at this picture, this is the parent cell here, that's the starting cell, has 46 chromosomes, divides once, and you only have 2 daughter cells. So that would be a little bit different than when we looked at meiosis. So meiosis, you start with 46, it divides twice, you have 4 daughter cells that have half the amount of genetic information, the 23 chromosomes, but mitosis, they look exactly the same. Alright? So last assignment for quarter 3 is going to be posted shortly. That'll be comparing mitosis and meiosis. And then next week we start quarter 4. Have a great day, guys. Bye.